Hello everyone and welcome to another training video. So in this video we're going to see how to start up and shut down the Robinson R22. Now I know, what if you're not flying the R22? This video is mostly about how to use the checklist properly, because even if we are flight simmers, like a real pilot, using a checklist is very important. So do watch this video because I will be showing you how to use a checklist properly. Now I have a paper copy of the checklist. You can use a digital one or an in-game checklist as long as you are using checklist. So here I have my physical checklist in hand, and whenever I'm going through an item I will put my finger, in this case the thumb, next to the item so that I know this is the item I'm going through. So here, as you can see, I left the door open so that when appropriate I will be able to clear the area, and also when starting the engine I will be able to hear any abnormal sound. So I will skip the pre-flight because for what I want to do in this video it's going to be too much. I will go directly to the before starting engine checklist. So I put my thumb next to the first item, which is seat belts fastened. Okay, so in this simulator it's not going to make any difference. So now I move my thumb to the next item, fuel shut off valve on, and I leave it there. As long as I'm not finished with this item, I leave my finger where it is. Now it's on. Now I can move to the next item, which is cyclic collective friction off. Here the cyclic friction, it is modeled but not functional. For the collective it's not even modeled, so I will turn this off. And now the next item, cyclic collective pedals full travel free. Okay, now because I will be putting down my checklist so that I can use both hands, I memorize which item I'm currently at. So here it's cyclic collective pedals full travel free. So now I can put down my checklist and go ahead with the test. So here cyclic, okay, full travel free, pedals full travel free, and collective full travel free. Now some people, they do everything at the same time. That's why maybe you have to put your checklist down, but I like to do it one by one. Now I get back to the item I was, cyclic collective pedals full travel free. Okay, now I can move to the next, throttle full travel free. Okay, same thing, there you go, full travel free. Collective full down friction on, cyclic neutral friction on. So if the friction is modeled, you can then go ahead and put it back to on. The pedals are neutral. Now make sure the rotor brakes are disengaged. Okay, rotor brakes are disengaged. Circuit breakers, they are all in, and carb heat is off. So that's the carb heat lever, so when it's full down it's off. Mixture, now I will put the mixture to full reach. Mixture full reach. A mixture guard, I don't have the mixture guard installed. Primer, down and lock. Landing lights, I verify that's the landing light. The landing light is off. Avionics switches off. Clutch, make sure it is disengaged, and altimeter set. Of course, before any flight you will verify for the weather. Here the altimeter is at 29901, which gives us 1013, and it is already at 1013, and I verify we have the correct altitude. Okay, so governor off. So before starting engine checklist over, now I will go through the starting engine and run up. So throttle twist for priming. So I'll just twist a couple of times. There we go. Throttle closed. Okay, battery strobe switches on. Usually when you leave the helicopter, you leave the strobe lights on, so that's why I left it on here. So battery on, and then I will clear the area. So two things I'm going to do here. When I'm looking outside, I'm clearing the area, and at the same time I'm verifying that the anti-collision the strobe light is effectively on. So here I verify it's clear on my side, but if I'm alone I don't have, you know, any clue if the other side is clear or not. So what I will do is I will shout clear, so everybody around knows that I'm about to start the engine. Okay, so ignition switch. And by the way, you can verify that alt oil is alternator, oil, and governor switches are lights are on. So I will turn on the ignition. The fourth is to engage. There you go. And now I have the engine RPM here on the left, rotor RPM here. So the engine RPM has to be around 50 to 60, which it is already. So what I will do is I will engage the clutch, and the blades have to turn in less than 5 seconds. There I go. Verify that the clutch light comes on, and the blades start to turn, like I said in the previous video, anti-clockwise. It took less than 5 seconds, so that's a good start. I can turn the alternator on. There we go, the alternator is on, and I verify I have oil pressure 25 psi, and I can already see the oil pressure is in the green here. 25 psi within 30 seconds. Okay. Now avionics headset on. I already have my headset on. Audio panel if equipped, test. I don't have it equipped. Now I will wait for clutch light to go out, and all that time, like I said, I'm going through the checklist and I'm moving my finger next to the item I currently add. So as you can see, the clutch light went off. Verify circuit breakers in, just in case it is a circuit breaker that caused the light to go off. No, all the circuit breakers are still in. Now moving to the next item, warm up RPM 70 to 75. Okay, now I'm just switching hands, so I'm still holding my checklist. I'm just now using my right hand, and I put it next to the item. So I will increase RPM to 75. Almost there. Okay. Engine gauges green. That's the next item. Engine gauges green. Verify. All pressure, all temperature, signal temperature. We have enough fuel. Next item, max drop at 75%. We are at 75%. It should not be more than 7% in 2 seconds. So how it works is, when I will be putting it first to left, it should not drop more than 7% in 2 seconds. So here I put it to left, 2 seconds, definitely less than 7%. I put it back to both, let the needle stabilize, and now I put it to right. Okay, less than 7% in 2 seconds, back to both. Okay, next item on the checklist, carb heat, rise drop set as required. Okay, so here, this is the carb heat indicator. You don't want this needle here. You don't want it to be within that yellow arc. And since we are operating below 18 inches of mercury, if I pull it all the way up, as you can see, it is within that arc. So I will put it just like that. Okay. Prevent ice from forming in the carburetor. Now sprag clutch check. What we will do is we will split the needles. It's simply by closing the throttle, and you will see that now the needles are joined together. As you can see, now the needles split. Okay. Doors, if installed, closed and latched. Yes, doors are installed, and I will go ahead and close the door on my side. Okay, make sure it's latched, and if there's nobody else in the helicopter, verify that it's closed and latched too on the other side. Next item, so I'm still going to put it back to, warm up RPM. So limit map chart check. We already know we are at 4,000 feet, and here, as you can see, you can switch between Fahrenheit and degrees Celsius. So it's better to leave it at degrees Celsius because the chart is in degrees Celsius. Okay, so for the air temperature. So 4,007 degrees. Let's go to the chart here. That's the limit chart. So 4,000. Okay. 7 degrees. It's in this range here. So I will 10, which tends to be the closest. So 4,010 is going to be 21.5. But since it is 7 degrees, I will kind of take 21.3, 21.4 ish. Okay, and it's also a little bit above, just a little bit above 4,000. So just to be on the safe side, I will kind of keep it at around 21.2, 21.3. Okay, that's our limit. What it means is that maximum continuous power. When, for example, we are cruising, we don't want to pull the collective too high that it exceeds 21.2, 21.3 as we have determined here. Okay, so that's the map limit map we've just checked. Now the cyclic and the collective. Okay, we will remove the friction. Okay, friction off. Now the next item on the list is governor on, increase throttle, RPM at 107. So what we are doing here is we are going to kind of fully open the throttle, but before that, what I like to do is I like to do warning the horn light and sound check. I'm gonna just raise the collective, and you can see low RPM. Okay, why I like to do it at this point is because once you engage with the governor, as you will see, I will have to do it anyway. So now I'm opening throttle, past 80. Okay, now governor on, and as you can see now the governor is going to kind of take care of the RPM automatically. Okay, now as you will see, I will try to lower to close the throttle, and as we'll see here, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I don't know how realistic it is, how it's done in the real aircraft. And like I see, I'm going down. You can't see the slider I've assigned, but it's almost all the way down, and then suddenly you will see a drop because it's the governor, in fact, that's trying to, I don't know how well it's modeled, and as you can see here, as you can see, that's why, and you can still check. That's why when the governor is on, I don't like to kind of manipulate the throttle. Don't know how close to real life this stuff is, but we are in a simulator. We have to do it the simulator way. Okay, so governor on. Okay, now we have to check the RPM, 102 to 104. As you can see here, it's between 102 and 104. Warning lights, all warning lights, in fact, all warning lights are out, and we've already done the horn light test. Now let's say that we're ready to start our journey, and at some point maybe you want to tune in the radio, your flight plan and all. So at which point you will do that? I will usually do it before turning on the governor and increasing throttle. Okay, so now let's say we've finished our flight, we just landed, so we are going to go through the engine shutdown procedure. Okay, so shutdown checklist, collective is down, and now I have to put RPM to 70, 75. And once again, as already mentioned, I will just start to close the throttle, and then I will, as you just saw the light, I will just disengage the turn off the governor, and as you can see, I have much better control on the throttle. I will put it to full down of 70, 75 here, more or less. There we go. and I make sure friction on the collective is on. Okay, so put my finger next to cyclic and pedals neutral. Okay, cyclic neutral, pedals neutral. For the cyclic, you put the friction on. Now cylinder head temperature. Usually when you just end your flight, it will be higher, much higher than that. So here, since we haven't been flying really, we did not even take off, that's why the cylinder head temperature, the needle is down, so I can go ahead and close the throttle. So close throttle. So here, before disengaging the clutch, we do have a clock here. So what I will do is why is it not working? There you go. Okay, I had to reset the clock. So next item on the list, clutch disengaged, and then I will have to wait for 30 seconds. That's why I was unwanted to use the clock here. So ready to disengage the clutch, disengage and start the timer. We will wait for 30 seconds. Okay, and next thing that we're going to do, once we reach 30 seconds, we are going to pull the mixture off. So there we go, 10 more seconds to go. Four, 3, 2, 1. There we go, mixture off. Now we wait for another 30 seconds before applying the rotor brakes. Ten more seconds to go. You have you can use either key bindings, or you can kind of pull the rotor brake here. I like to use a key binding for that. So there we go. You just heard and I like to, as much as possible, stop the blade in this position right in front of us. So there you go. Then you can go ahead and turn the alternator off. Off carb heat, if that was on, turn it off. And then like I said, I like to leave the strobe lights on. This battery switch goes off, and there you go. That's how you do start up and shut down in the Robinson R22. I will see you in a next training video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.